So if you are a coder and you have already built full-fledged applications using your favorite programming language and you are struggling to find your first job in the industry, so this is the best place and video for you. So in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the best way how you can get your first job in the software development industry, even if you are not from this computer science background or even not from the engineering background. So this is a proven way because I myself have got my first job using this technique, and I'm now a 6 years experienced software developer. Hey everyone, this is Kamran and I'm an experienced software developer, and I also make videos on YouTube to help other software developers to get their job and build their career in the software development industry. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my journey, how I got my first job in the industry, and you can also apply some pointers from that story in your journey to get your first job in the industry. So first, let's talk about the education background. I'm an electronics engineer, so I'm not from the CS background or even the IT background. This was very big struggle for me to get my first job as a software developer. Like my college also didn't provide any placement services, so it was very hard to get into the electronics engineering job at first. So I'm from very small town, so when I started searching for a job in that town, I was not able to get any good job in the industry as an electronics engineer. So I moved to a metropolitan city, so where I have to restart my searching. So I started searching for the good job in industry for the electronics engineering. And when I got my first job as an electronics engineer, I came to know that job was not that good and I can't build something good in that job profile. So I have to search something alternate of the electronics engineering, which can help me to prove my skills as well as build something good for the whole world. So I started searching for the alternate options of electronics engineering, and the first option which came to my list was software development. So I started looking deep into the software development basics, like what are the job profiles available in this industry. And once I was very much sure about the whole life cycle of this software developer, I decided I will be a coder. So I started learning my first programming language, which was Python. And after learning and getting a good grasp on Python language, I have to look for the job in the industry, which was the most difficult work I have ever done. So now I already had experience about searching a job in the electronics engineering. So I have to be more careful. So now I changed my whole thought process, and instead for looking for a job in the industry, I thought this whole process as a sales pitch. So I have to sell this product to a user. And the product was my skills and the users were the industry which needed that skill. Now first I have to list down all the features of that product. So that was my resume. So I started creating a beautiful resume for myself. So for that, I Googled something and I watched YouTube videos and I read blogs how to prepare a best resume as a software developer fresher. So after a while, I was able to create a beautiful resume for myself as a fresher. So I listed down all my projects and all my soft and hard skills. Once my resume was ready, the second step was the getting these resume to the table of an HR. So I started to make a plan for that. So now I made the list of all the companies and startup in my city, and I got the HR email of those companies. And once I got the email of that HRs, I listed almost 50 of these companies and I emailed all the 50 HRs with my resume and a brief introduction of myself stating that I am an expert Python developer. So you have to keep in mind that you have to mention that you are a fresher, that this should not be a surprise for the HR once they open the actual resume. And you also have to mention your strongest weapon in the email itself. Like I mentioned that I am a Python developer and I'm an expert Python developer. So you have to mention the programming language which you are expert in. Now when I emailed all these HRs, I got a call back from almost 10 HRs from different companies. So this was my first experience of a telephonic interview with the HR, and this was really good experience for me. And out of these 10 HRs, 4 of them were very happy with my resume and my content, so they allowed me to give the first interview with the technical team. Now is the actual time to represent myself as best as I can. So I prepared for the actual interviews, and I also made a strong preparation of the contents which I mentioned in my resume. And out of these 4 companies, for 2 of them started their interviews in DS Algo. And in the start of my career, I was not much aware about the DS data structure and algorithms. So I was not that good at them, and I was not able to crack those interviews. But rest of the 2 interviews was solely based on my Python skills. So that was my strongest point, and I hit a home run in both the interviews, and I cracked both of them. Now I had 2 companies offers with a good salary package. So I listed the pros and cons of both the companies and choose one of them, and this is how I got my first job in the industry. And similarly, you can also prepare yourself and get your first job in the industry. So for that, you have to follow 3 steps. First will be making a strong resume. First, you have to mention all the abilities you can do, and in these resumes you have to mention all your skills and programming language which you have mastered, and also mention brief of the projects which you have built by yourself. Then the second step is to prepare for the telephonic interview, because that is the main gateway to get into the actual technical interview as a fresher. Now comes the third part, where you have to actually give the technical interview. So you have to be very well prepared for the technical interview. You have to master all the list down features which you have mentioned in your resume, and be good amount of prepared for that. I hope this video helped you to understand one of the most easy way to get your first job in the industry. And before going, I would request you to hit the subscribe button down there. So I will also request you to hit the like button of the video. Happy coding everyone. See you in the next video.